All right, first and foremost, I have to say thanks to everybody who recommended Slow Horses as the next show for Cris and I to watch. We were up in the air about this and From were the two that were on our docket, and this was the one that everyone voted on and said you guys should watch this. Also, is Fall of the House of Usher, I think, is one we're gonna slide in somewhere. But as a general rule, Cris really loves spy shows, detective shows, things of that nature, things that are more realistic. While I'm definitely more towards the science fiction and fantasy genre. So this has been a breath of fresh air for her, especially coming off of Rings of Power and heavy orcs and magic and elves and everything else. And here it's much more, fast-paced spy action stuff. Um, this is a phenomenal show. We just binge watched the first season over our anniversary. I'm a couple days behind now because we watched it over basically Sunday. I think Saturday we did 2 episodes, then we did the other 4 episodes on Sunday. We're already 2 episodes into season 2 now, but I wanted to talk about season 1 a little bit because I just saw it today, I think. I don't know when the news is from, but I did see it today in my news feed that it's been renewed for season 6, which means, and season 5 hasn't even aired yet, which is cool. I don't know if it's going to be the final season or not, but at least it lets me know that I've got 4 seasons to watch. Well, 3 more seasons to watch before I'm caught up, and then we'll be able to be ready to go into the new season in 2025. So, most of you have probably watched this show at this point, so this is going to be sort of a top level down sort of review of the show itself and sort of my take on things and why I'm genuinely enjoying the show. I totally understand the comments that were left in the post section of YouTube now about better out than in. um, so I got to say that first and foremost, Gary Oldman is good in everything he does, but I feel like this is like the perfect time for Gary Oldman to be playing this role because it's sort of like he's just the right place in his career to be the disgruntled old, not necessarily washed up, but just, he saw some shit, he lived through some shit, and he's at a point in his life where he doesn't want to um, die. He doesn't want to die in obscurity, but he also doesn't want to deal with people. So he's more than content to just sort of run the reject crew essentially for MI5, and as long as everyone just leaves him alone and lets him run things in his own way. He's very much a curmudgeon here, dislikes or seems to dislike everyone that works for him, calling them idiots and losers and everything else, but then he's also fiercely protective of them once they're under his wing. So the first season is all about we're establishing who all of these characters are, him, her, all these different people, and realizing that where they are at is essentially it's everybody who's sort of messed up at MI5. They've been sent out to the Slough House to basically, maybe it's kind of like purgatory, but maybe they might not come back from that, and maybe they never get back into MI5 to become spies again. But they are out here because they've screwed up in some ways, in some way, and he's overseeing things as sort of like the old man who doesn't really care as long as everybody just sort of stays out of his way. And there's lots of drinking, smoking, farting, and he does some incredibly scuzzy shit in season 1, like basically, manipulating the Chinese restaurant owner downstairs that, hey, I'll let your illegal immigrant cook off the hook as long as you give me free meals, stuff like that. Like, he's totally not above like breaking the law to do things that get him ahead. But he's very much sort of like an alcoholic, chain smoking, bean eating, um, Chinese food eating, farting old man. Cris literally looked at me and went, "If you keep growing your hair out, and you get another 10 years on you, I think you'll." It's more like 20 because I think Gary Oldman's in his 60s now, and I'm only in my mid 40s, so I've got a little bit of catching up to do. But I can totally see myself as this dude. I've already got the thinning hairline down. I just need to stop showering and start eating more Chinese food and chain smoking. Um, Everybody brought their A game to this show. I really loved the idea of a crew of misfits who were able to overcome their little idiosyncrasies. Um, if I said that word correctly, idiosyncrasies is probably the word I'm looking for. To find a way to come together by the end of things to overcome this threat, which ended up being a manufactured kidnapping because the Home Office was trying to basically create this look good scenario regarding Muslims, and because it's all about migration. This is heavily influenced by Brexit and the current political climate in Britain, um, and the way that they have been doing their foreign policy in the last few years, and the anti-Muslim, I wouldn't even call it just anti-Muslim, anti-brown sentiment, which exists in the United States heavily. It's definitely there as well. And how at the core of this you have people who were born British who are Muslim and their parents came from other countries. Just like we have in the United States, we have migrant families who have been there for generations, and yet you still have racism against those people because of the color of their skin. And in this case, a group of crazy right-wing guys who certain political figures stoked the flames up to convince him to kidnap this kid, and then things go south, and it looks like the kid might actually get assassinated, and in the end, the misfits are the ones that save the day. Now, all of that was great, but I think for me, my favorite part about this show was the setup for what's coming down the pipeline, because we know that he has done some incredibly sketchy shit back in the day, especially related to Standish's, I believe it was her husband, because we do get the reveal that he, of course, was the one who killed the guy, even though she thinks it was a suicide. And he has not revealed the truth to her, nor will he likely ever reveal the truth to her. And we see that he is a great manipulator, a grand master manipulator, in terms of lying to people's faces and continually trying to come up with ways why he won't talk about what was in the file that he got from MI5 regarding Standish's husband. And Standish is fiercely loyal to him, and in her own right, she is just as good as him at spycraft, even though no one thinks she is, especially the arrogant little hacker kid. Obviously, the star of the vehicle is him outside of Gary Oldman. He's like the main misfit. He's doing a great job. I don't know that I've seen him in anything else before. If I haven't, or if I have, I don't remember what it is. He looks vaguely familiar, but I need to learn more about who he is as an actor. I don't think I've seen anybody other than Standish, who it was bugging me, where had I seen her before as an actress, and I had to go look her up on IMDb before I went, oh, she played Jessica in the Dune adaptation on the Sci-Fi Channel like 20 years ago, which I've seen twice over the years, and I absolutely love it. It was a phenomenal Dune adaptation, and she played Lady Jessica. And that's where I had seen her, but it's been 20 years, and it was bugging me because I was like, I know I've seen her somewhere, but it was years ago, and where was it? So I went on IMDb and went, oh, okay. And of course, Gary Oldman's in all sorts of other stuff. Now, I've been seeing him making the rounds in press recently, and I've noticed that over the past few years, he hasn't cut his hair or anything. He's very much living the life of this character, Lamb. And I cannot wait to see where this is going to go. Like I said, we're 2 episodes deep into season 2. We're going to watch some more tonight, and hopefully by the end of this week we'll have season 2 wrapped up. I'll give a review of season 2. I think we're just going to, because this show is coming, I'm not watching it while it's current. We're just going to, and they're short seasons, 6 episodes, they're about 40 minutes long each one. I think what I'm going to do is we're just going to watch each show, each season. I'll review the season, and then we'll move on. I know I am going to be watching season 2 of Silo coming up in November. I will be reviewing that one episode per episode, just like I did with season 1. I don't know if there's anything else in October that we're going to be watching that I'll do episode by episode. More than likely, it's going to be catching up on all four seasons of Slow Horses this month. And then November, I'll be rolling into Silo and maybe The Fall of House of Usher with Cris. We've also been looking at From. And then December, we've got Skeleton Crew for Star Wars. That'll be weekly episodes as well. So lots of fun stuff to come, everybody. If you like more TV reviews, show reviews, film reviews, and beyond, it's not just video games on this channel. I do a lot of different stuff, so hopefully you'll tune in. But I do stream every single day at 9 a.m. Central on YouTube and Twitch. Lots of video games, reaction videos, and beyond. So we'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Happy viewing. Let me know your thoughts on Slow Horses. And again, thanks to those of you who recommended this show, because it was genuinely a great first season.